November 2, 1976. Outsider triumph. The election of Jimmy Carter as the 39th President of the United States was a defining event in modern American history. Carter defeated incumbent President Gerald R. Ford with 297 electoral votes to Ford's 240 and captured a narrow popular vote victory of 50.1% to 48%. The outcome marked the first time since 1932 that a sitting U.S. president lost his re-election bid. This election took place in a period of national fatigue following the Watergate scandal and the final years of the Vietnam War, when public trust in government had reached historic lows and the electorate was searching for integrity in leadership. Carter, a former peanut farmer and governor of Georgia, entered the national stage as a relative unknown. Announcing his candidacy in December 1974, he built his campaign around the image of a political outsider, honest, moral, and untainted by Washington corruption. His background in the South gave him both a regional base and a platform to present himself as a symbol of renewal. The campaign's early strategy focused on the emerging importance of state primaries, allowing Carter to gain momentum by winning in Iowa and New Hampshire before more prominent rivals could consolidate support. These early victories provided national attention and established his credibility as a contender. The 1976 election occurred in a climate of deep distrust and partisan disillusionment. Ford, who had assumed the presidency after Richard Nixon's resignation, faced public backlash over his decision to pardon Nixon for any crimes related to Watergate. That pardon, though intended to heal the nation, became a central issue of the campaign. Carter's team emphasized transparency, moral responsibility, and restoring faith in the office of the presidency. His message resounded with voters across political lines. Regionally, Carter's election signaled a major shift in American politics. He swept the Deep South, winning every southern state except Virginia, making him the first Democrat to reclaim that region since Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1944. At the same time, Carter's success extended beyond the South. He captured key states in the Midwest, including Ohio and Wisconsin, and maintained Democratic strength in the Northeast. This geographic breadth demonstrated the potential for a Southern Democrat to build a national coalition. The campaign itself reflected broader transformations in the political process. The rise of televised debates, polling, and candidate-centered messaging reduced the power of party machines. Carter's approach to direct voter engagement, combined with grassroots organization and religious appeal, redefined how candidates could mobilize support. His promise that "I will never lie to you" became a central theme, capturing a nation's desire for sincerity after years of political deceit. Carter's victory also represented a turning point in the role of the South within the Democratic Party. For decades following the Civil Rights Movement, Southern support for Democrats had weakened as conservative white voters shifted toward the Republican Party. Carter's success showed that a moderate Southern candidate could temporarily reunite fractured Democratic factions, including Northern liberals, Southern moderates, and African American voters. Though this alignment would not last long-term, it illustrated the potential power of Southern identity in national campaigns. Despite its symbolic strength, Carter's mandate was fragile. His margin in the popular vote was narrow, and many Americans remained skeptical about whether a Washington outsider could govern effectively. Upon taking office in January 1977, Carter faced economic stagnation, inflation, and growing energy concerns. These challenges, combined with ongoing Cold War tensions, quickly tested the promises that had defined his campaign. Yet his election remained significant as a moment of civic renewal, a brief period when Americans believed ethical leadership could restore confidence in government. The 1976 election's legacy endures in several ways. It reaffirmed the power of character and integrity in political campaigns, particularly during periods of public disillusionment. It highlighted the strategic importance of the South in national elections and signaled the transition to a new era of voter-centered politics. It also demonstrated that a candidate with limited national recognition could prevail through persistent grassroots organization, moral appeal, and timing. Carter's victory ultimately reflected the American people's determination to move beyond scandal and distrust. His presidency may have faced economic and diplomatic hurdles, but the election of 1976 stands as a historic symbol of hope, change, and faith in the possibility of honest leadership. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.